I have, in fact, never played Metroid Prime. And now Metroid herself is set to return with Metroid Prime 4 or beyond. Whenever that releases. Seriously, Nintendo, how long has it been since the teaser trailer? 7 years? In the meantime, Nintendo has tied us over with Metroid Prime Remastered. And honestly, I've never seen a game look this good on a console that has the processing power of a baked potato. Unlike most modern games, Prime doesn't hold your hand. It expects you to mostly figure things out for yourself, leading to plenty of aha moments when getting a new ability. For a newbie like me though, it was confusing at times. Like seriously, what the hell is an Any-Beam? Anyway, when I decided to play this for this channel, I wasn't sure what kind of video to make. But hey, Metroid Prime has these things called bosses, some of which are tougher than others. Hello guys and welcome back to the Crypt. Today I'll be ranking the easiest to hardest bosses in Metroid Prime. Number 10, Hive Mecha. Okay, so when I looked up all the bosses in Metroid Prime, I had no clue this counts as a boss. Hive Mecha is less of a boss and more of a glorified turret that spits out ram war wasps. The fight is simple. Kill all the wasps and shoot the exposed weak point. Rinse and repeat until the boss is defeated. The only thing that really changes is the increasing number of wasps per round, which can get a little annoying since they move fast. But that's about it. There's no real movement, no complex attack patterns, just a stationary object spitting out enemies at you. To be fair though, this is the first boss after landing on Talon 4, but as a boss fight, it feels much more like a tutorial for shooting fast moving enemies. A few well placed shots and it's done before it even feels like a real boss fight. Number 9, Incinerator Drone. This is another surprise entry because like Hive Mecha, I didn't even realize this counted as a boss. It looks like a barbecue grill that got upgraded to barbecue 2. At its core, this boss is just like Hive Mecha. Kill wasps and shoot the exposed weak point. However, what makes this fight slightly tougher is the added challenge of dodging this angry toaster's fire. While killing wasps, this rotisserie oven spits out flames that sweep across the arena, forcing you to stay on the move. That said, the wasps are still easy to kill. And once you learn the timing of the fire attacks, the fight becomes pretty simple. It's a step up from Hive Mecha since you actually have to keep moving, but overall, it's still an easy boss fight with minimal threat. Okay, well, that didn't work. Number 8, Parasite Queen. This queen might look intimidating, especially with that dramatic entrance, but the actual fight? Not so much. The biggest challenge is shooting through her rotating energy shield, but even that's more inconvenience than a real obstacle. Parasite Queen only has one attack, a slow-moving energy beam that's easy to dodge by strafing or jumping. Since this is the game's real first boss, it's meant to be more of a spectacle than a challenge. That said, I must give it credit as it actually feels like a boss fight, unlike the glorified turret in Rogue Barbecue from earlier. Parasite Queen looks menacing, whereas the last two fights made me feel like I should have just called Billy the Exterminator. Just keep repositioning to fire through the gaps in the shield, and this so-called queen will be dethroned in no time. This is the Parasite Queen, or she is anyway. Just like that, dead. Wow, that's... Oh no, she's not dead. Never mind, okay. Spoke too soon. Wait, she's dead? Oh, we gotta leave. Number 7. Sheegoth. Kim Possible has She-Go. Metroid Prime has Sheegoth. Once again, I had no idea this was considered a boss. It feels more like a beefed up regular enemy, which is why it sits comfortably at number 7. Sheegoths in general can be a bit annoying since you must get behind them to hit their weak spots. But the adult Sheegoth takes things up a notch with a few extra icy tricks. It absorbs beam shots, forcing you to wait until it's exhausted before going on the offensive. But don't get too close, or you'll get hit with its freezing breath or sudden charge attack. That said, once you learn its attack patterns, the fight becomes a simple test of patience and well-timed missile shots. Stay mobile, pick your moments, and you'll send Sheegoth to an early and very cold grave. And of course, get that cool-ass wave beam as a reward. Sheegoth. Okay. I thought it was shooting his mouth, yeah. There we go, killed. Number 6, Flaahgra. What happens when Poison Ivy forgets one of her mutant plants on Talon 4? You get Flaahgra. This towering plant monster is more of a puzzle than a traditional boss fight. Instead of just bombarding it with missiles, you must knock down solar panels to expose its weak point, all while dodging its ground slams and energy blasts. Once exposed, you roll into Morph Ball mode, place a bomb, and repeat the process. Of course, it doesn't stay that simple. As the fight progresses, more solar panels are added, and Flaahgra recovers fast, gradually ramping up the challenge. This boss is a perfect example of how a boss should be. I'm looking at you, Barbecue 2. I really like the unique approach here, as you're just not spamming attacks, but actively solving a puzzle while managing movement and speed. Once you get into the rhythm, it becomes a well-balanced test of positioning and quick thinking, making for a moderately challenging and memorable fight. This is a boss, isn't it? What? How do you say that name? What? Flaahgra. Okay, Flaahgra. Weird name, Flaahgra. What was the goal here? Okay, so you can flip up the dish. Okay, and then it's knocked down. Okay, and then I can get inside. Okay. Whoa, what is that crap? All right, I think that's it. Defeated. Number 5, Elite Pirate / Phazon Elite. I'm grouping these two together because they're essentially the same, with Phazon Elite being a harder variation of the Elite Pirate. Unlike most bosses on this list, these guys are mini bosses you'll encounter a few times, and each mini boss can pack a serious punch. These genetically enhanced pirates come equipped with powerful energy attacks, shockwave slams, and an annoying ability to absorb beam shots. Phazon Elite hits harder, but both fights follow the same basic strategy. Stay mobile, stay aware of your surroundings, and time your attacks carefully. Their high damage attacks can drain your health if you're reckless, so be patient. Overall, the Elite Pirates and Phazon Elite offer a tough challenge, earning their spot at number 5. Hey guys, quick interjection here. If you liked the video so far, leave a like and subscribe down below. And hey, I actually have a Discord server in the description called The Crypt. But also let me know what games you'd like for me to play in the future. Now anyway, back to the video. Number 4, Thardus. Ever wonder what it's like to fight a sentient pile of rocks? Enter Thardus. This giant rock monster isn't just a boss fight, it's also a visibility test. You'll need to use the thermal visor to locate and shoot its weak points, and once it's damaged enough, Thardus decides to roll straight at you. Dodging this can be tough since it requires precise boost ball movement, unless you cheese it like I did and camp next to the spider ball tracks where Thardus can't roll at you. But even with a safe spot, Thardus puts up a serious fight. It throws rocks at you, which I guess is kind of like throwing its own limbs, and its ice attack is tough to avoid. Get hit by it and you'll be frozen in place, something that happened to me a lot. On top of that, Thardus has a massive health pool, making this fight drag on a bit longer than it probably should have. Between managing visors, dodging attacks, and chipping away at its health, this fight is one of the more complex and challenging bosses in the game. You gotta shoot him in the knee. There's a bunch of Phazon in that one little rock there. Oh my god. Okay, this boss she's quite tough because she keeps freaking freezing me. Oh my god. Oh my god, come on, man, Thardus. Stop freezing me. Every time he hits me. Oh, come on. I am only taking chips away at his health. Oh my, I cannot dodge for the life of me. Every time, man. Stop freaking hitting me. Oh my god, dude. I gotta cheese him by staying in this little corner here. Ah! You're gonna hurt me. Here we go. Beat him. Pretty tough fight all around, I must say. Number 3, Metroid Prime. Okay, ranking the final 3 bosses was tough, but I'm placing the final boss at number 3. These two-phase fights test everything you've learned. In the first phase, Prime constantly changes weaknesses, forcing you to constantly swap beams. Even worse, its weak point is tiny and hard to hit, with missed shots bouncing off its invincible body. Meanwhile, it bombards you with energy attacks and charges across the arena, forcing you to use Morph Ball to dodge its charge. This phase is long and tough, but then comes phase 2, which is weirdly easier. You can only damage it while standing in Phazon pools and switching visors to make it visible, all while trying to avoid Metroids and its attacks. But once you get into a pool, the Phazon beam melts its health. Rinse and repeat, and it goes down fairly fast. While phase 1 is grueling, phase 2 balances it out, making Metroid Prime a tough but fair final boss deserving of 3rd place. Okay, we got him. Number 2, Meta Ridley. What's a Metroid game without Ridley? That would be Metroid Dread. Full. You might wonder why I ranked Meta Ridley above Metroid Prime since he's not the final boss, but I argue he's actually harder. In the first phase, Ridley flies around the arena, launching energy blasts and swooping in for charges. His weak point on his chest isn't too hard to hit since missiles and beam shots usually connect. But then the second phase happens, and things get brutal. Now grounded, Ridley becomes relentless, using melee and explosive attacks with little cooldown between each attack. His charge attack alone can wipe out a crap load of health if you get trapped by Ridley. His only weak point remains his chest, but you must first shoot his mouth to expose it, and the window to land a hit on both are incredibly tight. I struggled a lot with this fight, which is why Ridley takes the number 2 spot. god. Oh my god, stop, what the hell? Okay, we got him. And finally, number 1, Omega Pirate. This might be a surprise pick, but Omega Pirate is the only boss that actually killed me. And that says a lot. This heavily armored beast demands precision and patience. He's a tank with massive health, high damage output, and can absorb beam shots the same as elite pirates. To damage him, you must first destroy his armor. Then, when he absorbs Phazon, you must switch visors to target and shoot his core, which is easier said than done. Right before this, Omega will summon pirates to back him up, forcing you to juggle multiple threats while still trying to land hits. Pirates are already tough enemies to fight, but as his health drops, he summons even more pirates, cranking up the challenge to 11. With a tight damage window in a long, grueling battle, Omega Pirate deserves to be called captain of all Metroid Prime bosses with a number 1 spot. Oh my god, how do you defeat this thing? This fight is harder than I thought, for sure. And that was all Metroid Prime bosses ranked from easiest to hardest. Did you agree with my ranking, or does my new beam weapon only shoot crap? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.